2-1. Uh, with that, I think we're live. All right.
Hopefully.
Greetings
I don't
and
know. I'm not looking.
oh, well, we are. Greetings and welcome. I am Joffrey, and today I am with yes, we've got Rye Pie I said the name right this time, and Scald has come this time as well. This is a different individual. He's the one who bullied me into taking a look at the Poland, Lithuania, and
If
Ruthenia
if
thing.
you if if you call that bullying, then that was like the lightest prodding of, oh, you should look at this. If I would scarcely imagine what you would call actual bullying.
I, I'm very
Okay.
sensitive. I don't know what to say. It's just
It
you,
it'd
you.
be like it'd be like if somebody went up to you and said, "Hey, can I borrow some money?" And then you're like, "Okay, please, you can have it."
Please take it.
Take
Don't
my
hurt
house,
me.
please leave me alone.
Someone
I
mugged me.
gave the stream a like.
Yeah. Uh, but yes, you told me that I should should look at it because of Cossacks. So what Polish Lithuania stuff? I don't know. I gotta see the Cossacks. Though in reality, I am curious about Lithuania because pagans. Everyone loves pagans. No one cares about Poland. Sorry, Polish people. Um.
Well, I don't think the Catholics like the pagans a whole lot, but
Oh, that's true. As a result, Poland doesn't like the pagans, but they work together with them sometimes. So I don't know.
Well, that's because their mutual enemy is the German.
The great,
yes.
Because
yes.
the German is the natural predator of the Eastern European.
Yes, especially in the form of the Teutonic Order. Ah.
I mean, there are more things than just the Teutonic Order. It was kind of a constant thing for almost all of Eastern European history that the Germans would come in and screw things up. So
I mean, there's a reason that there's a culture called Silesian German in EU4. So there's uh, there's a lot of those in Poland as well, because the Germans just keep kind of moving east. So yeah,
yeah,
Well,
maybe
that's
that's why
because
there's
Germans would show up in a location, build an area with walls, and the local Slavs would just stare at it in befuddlement. And this would more or less continue for hundreds of years, and that's why Sorbs are restricted to a tiny little stretch in eastern Germany.
because the Germans, the Markish Germans, would just show up and build a circle of walls, and feel like we're inside this circle of walls, just this
You know, they
circle of
just kept
spiky wooden sticks. Yeah.
they kept doing it until they hit Poland. Um, then they just kept doing it around Poland.
yeah.
They were eventually so successful they were able to just totally take over Russia. Where do you think the
Uh,
Romanovs came from? That's right, German.
Most royal families were German,
Yeah,
including
exactly.
the current British royal family.
It's
is
a
this
German import. That's why Queen Elizabeth II kept living for so long. It's German engineering.
Eric, Eric,
Yes.
yes, the concept of a wall was baffling to the Slavs and Balts, but the problem is they needed to have known how to build at least some walls because otherwise they wouldn't be playable. As we've established, that is why I can't play the Blackfoot. Meanwhile, you can play as Hawaii. For some goddamn reason, you could play as Hawaii, but you can't play.
That's
I mean,
that's
oh,
because the Hawaiians had monarchs and didn't move around a lot. They just stuck to their island.
granted, if you play Hawaii, then you're an idiot because Hawaii, you're just kind of sitting there until for like 300 years. Like it's
Like
not even like
Hawaii in EU4.
After.
no, it's
No, it's
more.
worse.
It is worse. It is
It's worse.
so
In
much
EU4,
worse.
you can take explo ideas. In EU5, you don't have institutions and you literally can't explore over the seas unless they give them a unique government reform like they did for Greenland. that
Well,
lets
it
them
would
do it
be like
anyway.
an advance. It would be an advance
It
for
could be either.
Polynesian exploration.
It could be either, but Greenland and Iceland have a unique government reform that is something to do with sagas that lets them explore early. So it's neat.
Yeah, I kind of wish that you could go Norse as one of them because that would be very cool Vinland roleplay. But
There's no
sadly you can't.
there's no Norse in either of those places. The only Norse faith places on the map are in there's like a
Well,
couple
I
places
mean,
in Sweden and Norway at most that have some. So I don't even know
Leif
how you swap.
Erikson. Leif Erikson was a Catholic. I don't know if you know that, but
I
like,
know that, but
Mm-hmm.
like I kind of wish it was Norse though. That's my fantasy is that like it was Norse.
It
I don't
would
care
be
about
fun.
history. I want a fantasy.
It's not the
it would be
case, but
Really
it would be
fun.
fun if it was the case. Yeah, that's the
it would
point.
be funny, but it's on like the same level of like, what if like the Byzantines went to America, but they were for some reason Hellenists?
Hey, I
Well,
think
if
I've
you
seen this one. I've played this
yeah, I think I've seen this.
one.
I've played this mod before.
It's a classic.
I'm not throwing shade. I'm just saying like that's not a serious alt history scenario.
We were
No,
talking just the other day on stream about the existence of the wacky guy who can show up to the Byzantines, and if your character is insane or brain damaged in some way, you're able to say, you know what, this guy is right. Let's convert to Hellenism, and you can do that in E5 if you somehow
Well,
get your religion
listen,
insane.
okay, Gethstemonos Plethin was not a wacky guy. He was a highly respected member of the senatorial class and a theologian par excellence.
I don't know enough to understand if you're doing the the sarcastic Scald voice, but I don't have the context to know what the sarcasm is.
Pletho, or Gethstemonos Plethin. Uh, he renamed himself that, so he sounded more similar to Plato,
Oh,
unironically.
oh,
Um, he he was a chief advisor of the Eastern Roman Emperor at the time, and he was very much into Plato and to Hellenism as like a sort of cultural concept, and he was invited to the council in Florence, and while he was there, he was asked by some people like, "All right, so what do you think? What religion do you think is going to win out in the end? Uh, Mohammedanism or Christianity?" And he said, "Neither. I think it'll be more similar to that of the Greeks instead."
I mean,
oh.
And this was to the face of a cardinal. He was very strident.
Who wins? And he says, nah, Hellenism's coming back. Something like that's coming back, guys.
okay. To be fair to him, he was a little tiny little sliver right, because in the modern age, you do have people on the internet that trying to revive paganism. So he was a little bit right.
Well,
All
I
right,
mean, I
let's.
would argue he was right more in the sense of the Renaissance, which he helped to kick off by
Yeah,
reintroducing Greek texts via the Medicis.
you could argue that with the success of the Renaissance, in a sense, Hellenism has won as a quote unquote religion.
It is certainly got a cultural victory. So if this was, Civ 5 or whatever, that's the victory screen that Greece is getting.
Yeah.
They are not getting a military victory. Just look at the modern day borders of Turkey and look at historic Greek lands, and you will see that they did
No, I
not
mean, they're
win
basically just
military.
back to historical Greek lands.
Well, there's some amount of Anatolia that was historical Greek land that isn't is Greek
All right,
right now.
let's move on from discussing what is or
Okay.
isn't historical Greek land.
Okay. Yeah,
And,
we're talking about Balkan stuff.
it's
This is a landmine.
the
That's
the, the,
that's
the
a black
Balkans.
box of terror.
the pagan stuff was sort of on brand because we're going to be discussing Lithuania at some point, but not discussing you know, Greeks are a little further south than Poland, so uh, but
Presumably, we'll be talking about that more whenever Purple Phoenix comes out, because no doubt they're going to include some pletho content,
I
because that's just primo LARP.
well no, I was saying that it already exists. Like they've shown that it
Yes, I know,
exists,
but
but more
they'll
maybe.
give it
Yeah.
more substance. They'll give it like mechanics, because I don't think it has any mechanics on release.
No,
Doesn't it just take away a lot of? Isn't it like Antebellum, and it just takes away a lot of stability and prestige and legitimacy?
Yeah.
Okay.
so yeah, we've got Casimir as the third Piast, and yes, he's dealing with the. Wait, why does it mention? He established the rights of the Jewish minorities as well as the Polish peasants, earning him the title Peasant King? What? The Peasant King. Also, the primary culture of Poland is Lesser Polish. This is very funny. Why
What
are
is
there
the
so many
what's
Lesser
the
Poles than
difference?
Greater Poles?
I think it's just Western and Eastern.
More or less,
Well,
I
why
think.
are you calling it lesser or greater?
Because there
Maybe
was a
they're just the
term,
same
there
places.
was like a concept of Greater and Lesser Poland. I don't. It's like the same way that there's Upper and Lower Saxons.
It's
Uh,
no, it's clearly Krakowans turning up their noses at those
I, I think
Poznanian, I guess.
I think Krakow is Lesser Poland as well, though.
Who knows then?
Uh,
Maybe it's
I'm
just an
danger close to
outline.
looking up a culture map of East Europe
We
right now.
what we need is we need a poll to to weigh in. What does this even mean? Because I know that Poles like to throw shade at the other regions of Poland. Like no one likes Warsaw, and they always say Danzig is it sucks.
What's the I need the
I'm
Poland.
not saying Gdansk, by the way. I don't know if anyone's commenting on that, but I'm not saying it.
Well, a lot of wars were declared over that one city. That's all I'm going to say.
There's only like three.
So Polish is split
That's motivated.
into there's Greater, Lesser, and Mazovian Polish. Um, and yeah,
Okay.
Mazovian is Warsaw, Lesser Poland is Krakow, and Greater Poland is like nothing. I don't even know what's over in the northwest corner that's even useful.
Poznan.
Yeah, you Poznan, but
You
yeah.
also have Neumark or Neumark. Yeah.
No, those are Kashubians. Those are different West
No,
Slavs.
Neumark would be like a little bit of it would be Greater Polish.
Yeah, they're
The
all the same
Greater
to me.
Poles are Germanized? No way. There's no way that they're Germanized. There's not enough Germans here yet.
Okay, there's Kashubian and the Greater Polish, which are in the West Slavic group, but I don't think they'd be Germanized yet. I think
Yeah.
it's like Markish or something that gets to like Germanize them. Okay, it's
I
just
guess
rage
maybe
bait.
maybe they're just Germanized by comparison.
I highly doubt that either of them have German heritage. Because we're part of the German culture group, I mean.
Anyway,
Jarvis, pull up the religious map of the Baltics.
Well,
well, I mean, like all maps of modern day European countries very closely follow, like the old imperial ones. You can see the difference of Austria, Hungary versus the Ottomans. It's clear as day in literally every statistical map of the Balkans.
Yes, that is why
I wonder what
Slovenia is so rich, because the Ottomans took a lot out of the Balkans.
I wonder I wonder what this literacy map in uh, 2005 on Serbia. I wonder what that means.
Okay, I think we've already pissed off any Turkish nationalists in the audience enough, so I think we can just say, yeah, the Ottoman Empire was pretty bad to the Balkans.
How
I think
how
yeah.
old um how old is oh he's 26. King Casimir, he does not look 26.
Listen, that's just what living in Eastern Europe does to a motherfucker.
he looks like at least 10 years older. It's
I would say he looks like he's in his 50s, but maybe that's just what Poles look like. Maybe they added maybe there's like a cultural based like extra aging system
oh,
so
no.
that you can make, 12-year-olds if they're like from a Slavic group look like they're 30.
Well, we've all
I
seen the way
mean,
that Paradox's recent games have a tendency to make their children look like they're fully grown men just with a small body. So,
I'm I have some amount of Polish ancestry,
uh,
and I developed facial hair relatively early, so I guess
yeah,
it's kind of a
and
thing.
Endrit Sulla in the stream chat says that Serbia actually conquered all of the Balkans, but gave it all to Austria and the Turks for as a show of good faith. So I thought that was the um, Ar- not, not Armenians. What even Albanians? Yeah, that was the Albanians who did that. I don't
No,
know.
Albania when
But at least the Albanians, via a theoretical connection to the Illyrian language, have a greater claim on that sort of thing. Since the
uh,
uh, since the Thracians, the Dacians, and whatnot were probably part of the Illyrian, uh, just sort of linguistic group.
I think that the Albanians have a complete like language isolate in EU5. I
Well,
don't
yeah,
think that they're a part of any language group.
that's because all the other Illyrian languages are extinct.
well, why don't you just make an Illyrian group? I want to do Illyrian LARP.
That sounds like something from Antebellum to me.
Well, I'm not gonna say anything about that, but
I mean, just I just feel like that'd be like a formable country, like a pirate republic, but Albania, because that's what Illyria was very famous for. Or maybe doing like a kind of like a Pyrrhus of Epirus thing. I've seen Albanians say that he was Albanian.
okay. To be fair, there's like North Macedonians that think that Alexander the Great was North Macedonian, so there's that.
As we
Okay,
know, Alexander was a proud Kosovar.
okay. As someone who has in a Bulgarian contacts, Bulgarian connections, I say that we should honestly just integrate North Macedonia into Bulgaria already.
It's like we're speed running, trying to piss off every Eastern
Uh,
European on the
what
planet.
Yeah,
what a
yeah,
direction
maybe.
for you to go on a rant in. Jeez. uh, they didn't talk about. I'm just a little confused here that they just show Poland and they're like, oh yeah, here's their stats. 63% lesser Polish. Here's their stuff. There's 0.5% of their country is Silesian Germans. You got to bump the number up. Um, but then
Well,
they
luckily
just immediately move
they
on to
talk about
Lithuania.
how you can bump that number up later on.
I do know that yeah when they mentioned Hungary before they explained that Hungary gets content for bringing in more Transylvanian Germans, so I imagine that yeah they've got the same thing for bringing over Silesian Germans as well. Yeah.
I mean, as we all know, the Transylvania was like 100% German before the Romanians took it over. So
No, it was
No.
100% Kuman.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. It's half Kuman, half German, 0% Romanian, and 0% Hungarian, as we all know.
I didn't know until reading this. They're talking about how Lithuania has multiple times at this point attempted to convert to the Catholic faith. I did not know that. They've been
Yeah, the
trying.
Yeah.
nobles would typically revolt and get angry whenever like the Grand Duke would attempt, and then he would back down. Um,
Oh, okay.
They were a kingdom for a very brief period of time before the the nobles went and
they just
overthrew the king.
overthrew and killed him,
Yeah,
Hmm.
and they're like,
that's
"All right,
why.
that's why they installed Get Him in Us."
Well, he's a
That's also
very
why
good
they're.
character, so
Yeah,
That is also why they are a grand duchy rather than a kingdom.
because they got because their
Min, Min,
king got overthrown. So the king tried to make
Because
them
they're not
into
Catholic.
a Catholic country, and
yeah,
then
Mindauga.
Hmm.
he was overthrown, and the new guy they put in charge, this new noble they put in charge, was referred to as a Grand Duke, the Grand Duchy, because the nobles didn't want him to have the authority of a king. Is the idea then?
Well, no, it's that being a king was something sort of like you were allowed to call yourself a king by the Pope in
Okay.
sort of international diplomacy, right? And
However, the
when
Pope were
Mindaugas
arbitrary.
was baptized, the Pope was like, "All right, you're a king now." And they weren't cool with that, so they're like, "We're just gonna stick with Grand Duke." I don't know why they didn't go king later. There's probably a pretty good reason for that.
Maybe or maybe not. I don't know enough about Lithuania to know
Uh,
what reason they could have had for keeping the title later.
by the time that they were Catholic again for the final time, they didn't really have much of an interest in it. I think I ordered this is how I recall it, but that it kind of I didn't really I kind of stopped my research or in slash YouTube videos watching about the topic stopped after the conversion to Catholicism. So I don't know.
But it's for the moment, they are the remove a faith. It's this funny little pine needle icon. I love it.
Also,
It's what
remove is a very modern term. They would not be called remover. The remover is
well,
more of a
they wouldn't have a term for it because it's just sort of a generalized, non-specific, non-centralized uh, folk religion.
So,
Uh,
yeah,
it's no worse than Asatru, which is also equally as I mean, like all names for things are fake,
right, like
and
the Hellenic religion. It's just the
it's not
the
really Hellenic as it's yeah, put out in game. It's more Roman, but still called Hellenic. I mean, would you prefer like an accurate anthropological term, like I don't know, Eastern Lithuanian ritualistic group?
not
probably
really,
not.
and it kind of annoys me when we see religions like quote unquote Sami shamanism. I'm not a fan of that religious name. Uh,
Hmm.
I would just call it Same.
Yeah, or Psalmism, or something like that. Even if it's not like 100% accurate, it gets the idea across.
or
And
or whatever their word for shamanistic ritualism is.
dare I say, go to their language and look up the words in their language for
yeah,
like our faith or shamanism or like yeah,
Like
again, anything like that. I'm sure there's better ways you could do it that wouldn't take very
you'll
long
never
than just saying it's
you'll never guess what Romuva means.
the faith, probably
uh,
same way that uh Finns have said in the stream chat before that Suomenusko means like the old faith.
It means
Yeah.
the temple movement essentially.
uh, Remova is like it can't. It's basically just kind of handed. like Swiminosko, I can't pronounce it. It was just kind of handed from a modern pagan revival movement. So I mean, it's kind of convenient in that regard.
Endrit, no, there has not been. They have not talked about the remove of faith really. They've explained vaguely the way that the quote unquote folk religions work, and as a result, most likely, Remova is just a generic religion where the mechanics behind it are you choose a patron deity for X amount of time and get these bonuses. Uh, that's typically how they work.
Absolutely riveting stuff.
Yes,
I
very
mean, well, I
very
mean, say that. We say that as if Hinduism wasn't the best religion in EU4.
It's not.
It is the best religion.
It's
Mm,
not.
I don't think so. No.
If you're a republic, it is.
Being
What
able to
republics are in
change,
Asia?
being
What
able
republic?
to
Why?
change
There's a
your,
Hindu republic in the Philippines.
being able to change your patron deity often is not necessarily good when you may well just like one of them the most and use it the entire game. Um, Now, I think Confucian's a really good religion. I think
God,
that Islam is the strongest religion in
Is okay.
EU4.
I think the strongest religions probably like this might be biased because I have like it was one of the first religions I've ever tried in the game, but I think Protestantism's probably my favorite. I don't know what the strongest is probably like in my opinion Catholic or like Orthodox. I don't like Sunni never like it's useful, but it never really struck me as like I usually use the Catholic, Orthodox, or Protestant mechanics more in my regular gameplay, and I will say that Reformed is a very underrated religion in the video game. By the way, in the video game, not in real life.
as we know, people regularly talk about religions as having like bonus effects. I say that, but people do talk about it that way, and I think that's bad.
I mean, you
That's
could
my hot take.
always,
It's my
yeah,
hot take for today. Don't talk about religions um, as a matter of in-game bonuses in real life.
yeah. You could always be like extended timeline in EU4 and make atheism have a negative 100% tax modifier.
What?
What?
That is not a joke. That is not a joke. That is actually that was I don't know if it got removed, but the last time I checked, it's still in the mod.
Curious. Oh, you've got, yeah, as Lithuania, you've got some of all of the big three. Mind you, the Sunni pops, you've got less than 1% Sunni pops, but you know, 3.7 thousand Sunni. That's it's amazing. Wow.
That is from a bunch of Tatars who settled there that were fleeing, I think, the Golden Horde's collapse.
Yeah, not even enough for their culture to show up on the top four.
Well,
Polesian, by the way, is a hilarious name. I just can't get over the name Polesian.
that's what happens when your father's name is Wu Landong, and your mother is like Alicia Sapowski. You're a Polynesian.
Is that a hybrid culture?
I'm making a joke. It's probably a
Okay.
Polish culture for like sort of easternmost Poland,
See,
because Lithuania does include a little bit of that.
it does. Polesian
So
is East Slavic
yeah,
culture. I forgot. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
you're fake East Slav.
yeah,
Fake East
it's
Slav
above.
here.
It's between Volhynian and Lithuania.
It's
Uh,
also
oh,
funny how much you can tell how
oh! It's like
where the
Holocaust.
data falls off. Because you like in the east, all of the it's just a bunch of straight lines. In the west, it is so like detailed.
Yeah, I mean, this was posted quite a while ago, but yeah, it was very obvious where you could see when they did their work for the minority culture pops. Uh, so
We
you
have
have
very good
September.
data for very good data for Western Europe. Not so great data
Well,
everywhere else.
it's not that. It's that they haven't done the minorities by this point when they posted this. This
That's
was
also
September
true.
2nd in 24. Um, this was over a year ago. They they hadn't done the minorities there yet. Um, but I
Let's
still
actually
remember
talk
when
about
this
that
came
now.
out, and I was
You
still
can
being
probably
like, "Oh,
see it
thank
now.
God they finally got rid of." It was like, the, oh, they didn't have Pruthenian. They had like um Baltic Prussian and then normal
Oh,
Prussian, and normal Prussian was the German culture, and Baltic Prussian was the Baltic one. It's like, oh, yeah.
you can also see a small amount of Livonian. If you look up there. Yeah. You got the Ingrian, and you got all. I think Livonian, if correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right, is is in the same family group as Estonian and Finnish. Is everybody dead?
Uh, okay, sorry.
Oh,
Continuing along. Um, Lithuania does have an absolute load of vassals as well. Is the other interesting thing? They've got no, they don't have Smolensk, but they've got everyone west of that.
they don't have that yet. They do have where I'll just keep that joke to myself.
Say it.
There's Turov and Pinsk and Novgorod and nowhere else down there.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Certainly
yes. There's
not.
a
Oh,
there's a very curiously named yeah, Ruthenian prince. Yeah.
uh,
Certainly not where anyone's mother is from.
no, 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 that wouldn't happen.
Yes. Oh, so when they talk
Spelling
about
of
Ruthenia,
Kiev.
they're actually mentioning Kiev. It's just fun times. They're doing so well right now. After all, ever since the Mongols showed up, it's been sunny days for Kiev. I assure
Okay,
you.
I thought you were talking about the modern day for a second. And I was like, okay. And then you say the Mongols, and I'm still like, okay. So, yeah.
They never quite
We're not
recovered
going to
from
talk
that.
about that. I mean, they're
Subjugated
not.
during the Mongol invasion, the principalities of the East remain in uneasy relationship with their nominal overlord. Yes.
I'm just imagining Theodore Rurikovich just doing the thumbs up. I think this year's going to be great for Kiev.
Uh, we have surely things will only get better from here. We can only go up.
The number goes up. But yeah, let's talk about the structural content, which is where it's really interesting.
Yeah. If you want to be like antebellum, you can make a Halich Volhynia. I probably butchered that pronunciation. Randomly
Volhynia and
turned
Hellish
Catholic.
both exist as tags at game start.
Or,
Um,
yeah.
and Poland has content to yoink them early, I think.
Yeah, they just randomly turned Catholic in that mod. So,
Um, but yes,
Well,
structural
that's because
content.
that's because they were Byzantine Catholic.
Literally 100%. Oh, yeah, that's right. They didn't do the minorities yet. I was like, what the fuck? Why are they 100% Orthodox? That's a little odd. But just like, no, they hadn't done the minority. Wait, no. No, this is new. No, this
They
is
got the
new.
Mongols.
so there's.
They have.
I wouldn't be
Yeah, they've got
surprised if like
Mongols,
the
but.
1,000 Mongols converted.
They've got
It's like
Mongols,
Greenland.
but they haven't. Yeah, they've converted.
Like Greenland's 100% Catholic, but I'm kind of more surprised with this because there's actually more diversity. But I suppose it'd be pretty solidly Orthodox, and there isn't enough data to really go against that.
The Tinto flavor is the new thing, Azrael. This is the
I
thing
hope
that came out now. Yeah. So this is the
I
up to
hope they
date
make
thing.
I hope they make just like one Mongolian, just like Nestorian or something.
They have
Please,
10 Nestorian pops. They're all Nestorian Mongols.
please.
You can't say that none of the Nestorian Mongols were in Kiev.
So the problem with that, which would be hilarious, is that if they gave them literally any Nestorian pops, it would mean that you'd be capable as Kiev of converting to the Nestorian faith at game start.
I mean, well, yeah, but I mean, I'm all for. I'm in camp uh Nestorian Chagatai. You,
Yes.
you, you know the debate, right?
I have heard of it. I've heard that yeah, the speculation, but I
Put
don't.
put up put up a poll in chat. Are you team Nestorian Chagatai or team Tengrist Chagatai?
Not
I don't
Sunni.
I'm
Don't
not
even leave
I'm,
an option for Sunni Chagatai.
well, well no, they converted later. Like that's
Oh,
I'm talking about like a game start. Because there's an argument to be made that the Khan of Chagatai was an historian, and it's a more interesting choice.
oh, I think the rule, like the current governor, quote unquote, of the Aretinids is like at this point in history is a Uyghur as well. So that's another question. But they haven't shown us the actual ruler, so who knows? It would be funny though. You got the Aretinids' primary culture, not Turk. I mean, I no, that would be for debate.
Let me check what the religion of Chagatai is, because they did get it.
Did they
Uh,
really? Because like
yeah, they
Timur,
did. I
but
mean, it's in the Timur thing, but they are mentioned. I think it's funny that they made him a Borgigan. He isn't, by the way.
they changed that.
Oh, they did?
Yeah,
Good.
like he's because yeah he's descended from them, but he is not of the dynasty. Yeah.
But yeah, I am team Nestorian Chagatai. I think it would be interesting to have a
Okay.
Chagatai horde roaming across the steppes, looting and burning wherever they go.
They have shown okay like they show the current ruler, but not all the information about him. Like can't see his culture or his religion. I mean, his culture is probably Mongolian, but
I think it should be an historian. It'd be an interesting situation, and if you have to do a lot of conversion or a lot of toleration very early, then it's just an extra challenge. Because you're kind of pressured to convert to Sunni.
well, we will see. We will see. I do agree that that sort of thing is fun in a masochistic sort of way, but I doubt it's what happened. Just showing here, Kiev. Recent change due to forum feedback and made Prince Tudor Theodore? I don't know how you'd say that name. I've never seen that before.
Theodore.
So, yeah, just
It's just Theodore.
yeah, Theodore.
Prince Teddy.
Yeah, yeah,
Theodora.
Prince Teddy, whose origin is not very well known, to be part of the Rurikids, as the most recent academic research points to. Yeah.
We could also call him by his street name, T-Dog.
Did they actually
That's an old
change
one.
about? Doesn't look like they changed the political map of it much, so I don't know. Another Rurikovich, brilliant. Yes, no one would ever see this coming.
Well, why would they?
We must see a dynasty map mode of Eastern Europe.
There's the funny Lithuanian vassal right above Kiev.
Chernihiv? No, it's not
No,
Chernihiv is under the.
Turov. As we all know, it's only Turov. Turov is a very funny country, as we all know.
I don't know why, but okay. The actual structural content, Poland. I assume we'll see some. Do they have they've got to have the Great Sejm at this point, right? Or is that later?
The what?
The Great Sejm. 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 I don't know.
Same.
I'm not Polish. I don't know how to
Great.
pronounce that.
The Great Seaman.
Sure.
As good as name as any.
Or state privilege Polish merchants. Yeah, so they start with that. Still have no clout, but gives them more clout for what it's worth. Yeah. Max tax for burgers goes up and trade efficiency goes up. I mean, those are both good things.
I love the names that we've got here. The Mies gone to what a ridiculous language.
The
Zlachta. Listen, I can at least say Slachka.
Yeah.
Because I've played a lot of Vampire the Masquerade.
Oh. Also, it's a short enough name.
Yeah, but like Slachka, not hard to say, but Ducho Winstwo, ridiculous.
I have needed
Absurd.
to rein in the polls when doing world building stuff, and even still, the names are still long and hard to pronounce. They'll complain to me about making them butcher their beautiful language to make stuff pronounceable by the Anglos, and I'm like, listen, dude. If I can't say the name of the country that I'm gonna play, why would I play it?
Duco Winescu. Or what? Okay.
Duco Winsto. Winsto.
Ducho. Mescaline.
Misjanstvo.
Literally, Nahuatl is easier to read out
It's
than this
true.
nonsense.
Nahua is not actually that difficult of a language most of the time.
Yeah, that's what's funny. Not a non-Indo-European language divorced from English by thousands upon thousands of years. Easily recognizable, understandable. It's only got like one weird kind of sound, the tla. Holy. Separated by.
It's not even.
I don't know what's up with Polish, man. It's weird. It's something up with these Slavs.
Czech isn't even as bad as Polish, because like at least I can read some amount of it.
That's because the Czech are a type of German.
Okay.
Listen, I gotta keep it going. If there's a single Eastern European that's happy with me by the end of this, I lose $50.
You're going to give it to who?
Speaking of which, invite German settlers estate privilege. Yes, you've been waiting for that. Oh boy. Well, that's a terrible estate privilege for the burghers. The Novi Fori. Max control minus 10%. That's abysmal.
Why?
And you get to have free subject, which is better, but it's not. Is it minus 10% max control better?
No, there's not. Like, there is very little that I would accept as a reward for max control, and progress towards free subjects ain't it. Just make a feudalism build for the game instead, my dude. Like, I don't care. What the fuck? But invite German settlers. You can't tax the peasants as much, which is rough because the peasants have all the money.
Well, they have all the production.
I guess it depends on what you're trying to do.
even in the modern age, you don't tax the lower class because or as much because they make more of the production. They don't make as much wealth.
Well, in an agrarian economy, all of the money comes from farming.
Yeah, you don't want to tax them too much, or else you'll piss them off.
Oh,
And
you'll starve them to death.
Yes.
how powerful the nobles are just really entirely determines how much money they actually have for you to tax.
Yeah, and typically you don't want them powerful,
Yeah.
especially if you're Poland.
Uh,
Because then you won't be able to pass any laws.
The
the
Russians are at our gates, and we can't even manage to raise an army. This sucks.
I definitely
ice.
so ever since I heard part of the reason that the world building for Kyangul involves like the idea of there being this huge migration going on is because I heard about and saw just the briefest notion of how these German migration events work. And it's like, oh, I need to 100% try and use that code to make something on a larger scale where people get to mess around with um, moving pops around, and you can invest in it more to try and get at the head of other people by yoinking a bunch of pops, even if they're not accepted. Uh, so I'll be very curious to see how this works in game. So, James is saying it as a joke. Josh, man, you should do a Polish world conquest run when the game releases. Be so fun and easy, surely. Uh, no, but playing someone that has the German migration mechanics early game is definitely on my list of things to do. Uh, and
I think you know
probably
what would
hungry.
be fun? Fucking Hansa World Conquest.
Mm,
They're not even in like technically a country at the early games, so it's even funner.
They are an extraterritorial country. You would just play the ultimate vassal build.
that
Oh,
would
that
be a very
reminds
me
me.
thing to do. It's just Diplomax.
That reminds me of that meme on the JJJ server. It's like Hank, don't abbreviate building-based countries.
Yeah.
Hank.
Yep. Don't abbreviate building based country. Joffrey, I love building based countries. They're amazing. Bank branch office in every city. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Every city across the world. That's how you like can you imagine you play to the end of the game as like the Medici Bank and you've just built an office in every city on the entire planet? What do you
I
do?
I honestly
You
kind
just
of
own
want to.
everybody.
It's like
That's what you do.
as like the Hansa or something. Only have territory in the New World, which sounds weird, but imagine you like Exodus to the New World kind of, or only have territory in the New World as like colonies or something.
Well,
Be kind
strictly
of interesting.
speaking, they kind of did. The Fuggers were granted Venezuela in exchange for debts owed to them by the Spanish crown.
The
Oh,
Fuggers.
well, I I am now imagining a timeline where the fucker banking family shows up and some colonial power is just like here. We'll give you this colonial nation as a vassal. Now, please cancel our debts.
Yes, hence, no, not Fuggers. It was the Welsers.
It's one I haven't heard of.
Of what happened to the Welsers Venezuelan colonial
It failed
project?
because Germans in Venezuela don't survive very long, so they sold it back.
Oh,
The Scotland style, just complete failure. So, yeah,
Yes, but yes, I Hansa colonization, something that happened in real life. Same thing with Coronian
don't
and Hospitalarian.
I don't think that there's gonna be any way for us to colonize as a building based country though.
Well,
And
no, you just need pops.
but yeah,
But
you don't have pops as a building based country in theory. So I don't know how you Like if it would be at all possible. But that's the thing is like you'd expect to be able to as like a you're a corporate entity more or less that you'd be able to then pay money to like have people create a colonial charter for you, even if they're not from a
And
country you own.
I mean, it's technically like you have vassals and you have stuff like the British East India Company that owned a lot of land, even though they weren't an independent country. They were backed by the British. They were technically a country and a company that owned land. So
I think you can go from an extraterritorial country to a territorial country if you do conquer land.
yeah,
They've been pretty fast and loose with that information, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, because it's like on like the extraterritorial map, like the knights and Teutonic Order are on it. Like you can see their extraterritorial buildings,
They pro
but they are
yeah.
but they are distinctly territorial countries.
Do keep
yeah.
in mind though they also um they also got rid of the for now they got rid of the purely building based knights. Those
Well,
they're
yeah, well,
they're bringing them
yeah,
back with
but
the
I'm just
first
saying,
DLC.
like, I do wonder if you'll be able to colonize those them.
Because the knights, well, yeah, I mean, okay, in the case of the knights, because the Order of Saint John did try to colonize, but they owned land, so that's not the same as like the it's like if you're trying to colonize like the Order of Calatrava or some shit. That ain't the same, because they didn't own land. But Knights of Saint John were sitting on Rhodes and then Malta. It's like they actually had a population base. But like, what? You trying to colonize from commanderies or some shit? That's not enough land. I don't know. It's a curious
Maybe
thought
if you
process, though.
build, maybe if you build enough commanderies, you'll just have the pops.
Simply acquire more pops, build
That
commanderies
might.
all over.
I mean, if like as a company, like extraterritorial country, you could have employees that you send to the New World. That could be a thing.
It's just not
Granted, it
enough,
is
though.
very funny.
Like, even
It's
if you
very
took all of
funny
your
to
quote unquote
imagine.
employees, it's just not enough pops.
You only
I
need
mean, you
1,000.
yeah, you only need 1,000, and you can start getting things kickstarted. All you need to do is say, "Look, we're gonna pay you a lot of money." That's how that people would do it in real life. I swear. Like, who would go to like the moon or something if they were paid a lot of money? Like on a
Yeah,
colonial mission.
that's why I figured though it would need to be done in a system where they would draw pops from places that like they aren't the person who quote unquote owns the pops. They'd be from places that they have like a building in, but they don't own it, so they'd somehow yoink pops from those places. That's theoretically what they need to do because they go around advertising to these people.
Yeah.
They need to get some sort of
Uh,
agreement, perhaps with the local lord or something. Like there's ways you could theoretically make it work, and I'm curious about it. I'd love to try and make that work mod wise as well. But yeah, that's theory crafting for a
if
long ways
this,
down the road.
if none of this is possible in the base game, Paradox, please steal this idea. I want it in the game.
Yes, please steal it and
Paradox,
implement it for us.
Paradox, hire this man.
Yes. Yes, I am. I'll be the youngest Paradox employee. I don't even have a degree, so I don't think I can get hired, but
I don't think that matters.
okay.
Lithuania, though. Oh, they've got a unique major reform. Okay, that's always fun. We set the parliament type to assembly. They have a unique parliament type that's called the assembly. So theoretically, this is a result of having your fucking government overthrown by nobles.
I think assembly includes peasants. I don't remember.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh, it is so bad. What the fuck?
I don't remember all of the parliament types. Let
The
me look that up.
the patrimonialism. I don't know what the assembly parliament type does specifically, but the patrimonialism government reform that's Lithuania's major reform at Game Start is horrendous. This is
Yes, assembly
terrible.
Assembly is nobles plus peasants.
Just nobles and peasants. Wild.
Council is nobles and clergy. A state parliament is nobles, clergy, and burghers. Autocratic is nobles, clergy, and burghers, except you got more power. And then constitutional is nobles, clergy, and burghers. So assembly, the only ones where the peasants matter for shit.
But it's
Truly.
so I don't know what like the modifiers of it do other than that, but the government reform that causes Lithuania to start with an assembly is inexcusable. The only good thing it does for you is it lowers the power of your estates by 50%, but that's nothing compared to all the bonuses they get from privileges. And it makes them so angry. They're 10% less happy and they get they're you get a 10% tax efficiency penalty, which it's not even like it's not even max tax down this percent. It's tax efficiency, which means you like you're getting functionally 10% less tax, but you're still like making them pissed off. And worst of all, -1 cabinet seats. I've never seen such a modifier. I didn't know that could exist. This is horrifying.
Okay. I kind of hope they don't make it as punishing, because this is kind of excessive, in my opinion.
Well, I think it's supposed to represent the sort of primitiveness inherent to the government of Lithuania. It's supposed to be bad. You're supposed to reform out of it into literally anything else.
Yeah,
That's also true, Aridin. Aridin, that's also true. We have seen before that some people at least are able to give privileges to the peasants that adds them to the parliament. So that's also true.
I
But
kind of want to have an assembly, because it seems like the assembly is just the most base, because you get to have the.
Well, no, because you want the clergy and burghers to be happy because they get you tech and money, respectively.
the commoners will matter more
Well,
later
power
when
to
you
the
actually
people.
have like production.
Yeah.
What if I want to play as a Friesland peasant republic, power to the people, though?
Well, then you damn well better have the peasants in your parliament, otherwise you're shooting yourself in the foot. That's entirely
You
different.
just DOA at that point.
Yes, yes, the Frisian freedom is pretty based. The Frisian freedom is so bad. I love peasant republics so much that yeah, there's gonna be a few too many peasant republics that exist in Kiangol at game start. It's gonna be a problem.
All right. Well, now let's move on to the really interesting one.
All right, all right. Yes, that. We go to Kiev, where they're not showing us their crown power at game start, which is sad, but we do get to see their Cossacks. They have yes, as you were saying, there is merely 416 Cossacks. This is like this.
Look how much Look how much more readable that is compared to Polish.
You get the bojarstwo, the clear, the mechanstwo, the Chrestianstwo. It all flows together so much easier. Even the peasants, which is the weirdest name, the Chrestianstwo. It takes 3 seconds for me to look at it and be like, yeah, Chrestianstwo. Yeah.
Yes, but the most interesting one is the Cossacks or the Cossacks.
Of course. Yes, with 0% clout, but
Not many people, but
they get
it's
to
very interesting how it seems to work.
the
Where
Kievan
they've got
Cossacks.
opinions,
Ducats satisfaction.
opinions about people.
Yes, the 5 most liked countries are the Principality of Starodub, Siversky, Principality, yes, Novgorod, Siversky, and Chernihiv. Smolensk and Trebinsk. And they do not like the Golden Horde, the Turks. They really don't like the Golden Horde, the Ottomans. Interestingly, I don't know what Cossacks are in the Ottomans, but that theoretically means they're slaves. Like, does that mean that they've got slave Cossack pops in In, in Nicaea, what?
Presumably, we'll know more when we can play the game in 2 weeks. But
How wild would that be if the way this work is you could go as like Morocco, you go sail up to the Black Sea, yoink some Cossack pops back to North Africa, and you get the estate.
you just start proliferating Cossacks in your country because it's just like, oh man, this estate's just so great,
I mean, if it's
and
actually good.
then they declare independence from you, um, and invite a nearby country to invade.
So one thing I'm super curious about with this as well, by the way, is just the fact that since they're in a state that like them and the Dhimmi like are two estates that are weird to me like that, which means because estates have buildings, like they've got income and things they spend that income on. So what are the Cossacks and the Dhimmi building?
Yeah,
I don't
but
know.
it also it's like this proves that you can have an estate based off of just one culture,
Hmm.
and an estate that's kind of international as
Yeah,
well at the same time.
that just kind of has a thoughts and opinions on various folks.
Yeah,
Something that
but it could be used to represent, weird local minorities. I think, you know, you could use it to represent a bit of a savage people, like, orcs or something
could possibly, yeah.
in your.
Yeah, I mean, you were mentioning that
Don't
in
want to
in
say that
your
about me.
your yes, which you'll eventually be making a mod. And there, the orcs are they're not really um at the intellectual level to be making a state, but they could do
Yeah,
this.
maybe. I mean, I was thinking about a different group
Ah,
to maybe use
yeah.
this sort of style thing for.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't.
but like, I just think
For
it's very interesting, and it really, I think, I'll be very interested in seeing how people do estates.
I
Um,
the idea
I'm
I would
into it
have
with
for
farms.
Kiangol is the fact that since at game start, there's going to be a ton of parts of the main continent of Mirova that are getting minorities migrating to them from Vestron. Theoretically, I could make one of, like, just insert, like, the biggest of those groups that's migrating out and make them have some sort of cultural estate as a result of it. So then that's part of
yeah.
the unique mechanics of interacting with the mass
Oh,
migration crisis that's going on at GameStart, where you actively either want or don't want them because of this estate.
yeah, you could grant them privileges like, oh, preferential, where they'll be happy, but that lowers the happiness of literally everybody else.
Yeah. There's also
Or
another one I can think of. Um, there's a rock guy culture. The iron dudes, the Pharaons they're called. They've been used by a lot. Like they very rarely have ever actually been in charge of themselves, but they've been all around the east of the continent and used as a oh as an
that
elite.
you know what that makes me think it might be kind of interesting to have like an Ashkenazi or a Sephardic estate.
It, that feels like a perfect candidate. Like, does it not make
Um,
perfect sense to be like just there's the Ashkenazi estate, and some people can interact with them or not if you've got a certain percentage of their pops or something. That could be neat.
Yeah,
yeah.
could be like, and then I'd give it an excuse for them to build buildings, as they build synagogues. Same with the Demi,
Yeah,
give it an excuse to build churches.
that's such a cool idea of how to make it work. Is that the Jewish pops in your country? It could even be tied to the faith itself. It could
Yeah,
even be like it's tied to the faith. Like you can tie, but if the Cossacks are tied to the culture, you could try tying it to a faith.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
I can
And
certainly see some cult being
I
that way. Like,
I think I know how
Taunt.
this will be used for the inevitable Anbanar one for the Bronze Dragon dudes.
oh,
Right?
yeah, that's an
Yeah.
interesting idea, but I don't know. They're not.
If
I mean, they're around, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they exist, and they're like a semi-militarized religious group, but like the point is that this is just very interesting, and I I imagine that there will be a good number of weird estates like this. I wouldn't be surprised if there was one such, or maybe even two, added to Spain in the pillar of whatever uh, the flavor pack that they're coming out with.
I think that this is yeah. I think that this sort of thing and expanding on estates in general is definitely a really good candidate for DLC content for flavor going forward. If this
Yeah.
works, like this is such an interesting idea I'd never considered before, with the fact that we have pops. Uh,
And we can properly represent just tiny, tiny minorities.
and also this is the other thing I never considered. Um, so you have in oh holy shit! I never real Oh, I have the absolute perfect one I never considered for Kiangol. The Nemcraft, if you're here. The fucking mob rights. The fucking mob rights. Of course the mob rights should have a cultural estate. That makes perfect sense. That is exactly what they are. That is exactly what those guys are. They're a culture that is an estate, and they have opinions on various countries and get granted privileges or otherwise. And theoretically, because we've seen that you can have like so Molly has stuff at GameStar. The Molly's one of those ones that at GameStar has a bunch of privileges handed out that stops them from being able to religiously convert various segments of their population. Maybe there's a way with this that you can give out a privilege to said estate. So like you could do something with the Cossacks where you can't convert the Cossacks. I bet that's going to be a thing. And as a result, you could do that for if there was a theoretical Jewish one where it's like you can't convert the Jewish religion pops. Or in a mod as a result, yeah, you can do a similar thing where it's like, yep, uphold their autonomy or something. That's write that down, write that down, write that down. Oh my goodness. It's brilliant. That's fucking because I'm sorry for the tirade I'm going on right now, but it was an important notion in the lore for Kiangol that these people, the mob rights, are inundated all around Vestrand, and they're entrenched in the bureaucracy of the region, just as a cultural slash job. Like it's just these people, you see them and you're like, oh, it's those guys. They're probably bureaucrats or maybe spies, and they're like, those guys. So it's just what you expect of them. They're so entrenched in the culture of the region doing that it just I wanted it to be tied to like you have minorities of this culture and you would have like laws somehow is what I was thinking is how I'd have to jankily make it work. But this is an absolute. It's gotta be the answer. Anyway.
Kiev and
Yeah,
Cossacks.
I like saw that instantly, and I was like, well, I gotta hop on. I gotta tell Joffrey about this. I think he'll find it interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Considering how many tirades we've gone on so far, yes. Good job. Maybe Red Skull should help us for every single stream going on.
He'll bully me into making the stream actually happen instead of just playing Divide and Conquer more. I'm having fun though. I like deck.
How about you divide and conquer the code?
No.
Isn't the next one going to be a mod dev diary? Like a modders specific kind of thing?
It's at the end. They said I looked at it and then I instantly blanked out and was like, "Yeah, there's stuff later." That's Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Well,
Okay.
that's neat.
That's a spoiler. There's more stuff left.
As real, yeah, you're the person that I keep thinking of. I know there's a couple people, and I forgot. Yeah, you're one of the folks who said that you refused to like join the mod Discord server or look up any of the lore and understand it because you want to when the mod actually gets made, you go in without understanding anything. So you hear me ranting about the mob rights in this country and that region and the bureaucracy, and you're like, uh huh. this is just washing off my head. I'm not gonna try and remember any of this stuff. I want to go in not understanding anything. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's very based. The way Ezreal was putting it is that they want to wait. Yes, they want to wait. They want to do. They want to learn anything. They want to go in when the mod comes out. The beta's released. They'll join the beta and play it and not look up anything. They just want to dive into it without understanding what the fuck is happening and through trial and error. Just make it work. We'll get there when we get there. Yeah. Oh, and that's what you were saying. So actually, yeah, they only added. So I guess they added 416 Cossack pops just to Kiev, just for the sake of testing it. So it's not an actual number representative of the final
Yeah.
result. This is last minute for this. Like, what the hell caused them to just last minute be like, wait, let's do the Cossacks and make them like this? What if we tied it to a culture? They just within 2 weeks of the game coming out, they're like,
They probably wanted to flex the flexibility of how estates are made and function, because it's obvious, like, oh yeah, pop types makes sense.
yeah, yeah.
It's like religion, okay, yeah, Dimmy. What about cultures?
I think we are 100% going to see more kind of cultural estates over time. Like,
Yeah.
I think the next would definitely be the Jews.
I really hope that happens. Yeah.
Yeah, if Johann sees this or whatever, right? Please give us the Ashkenazi estate.
People will probably be saying that in the comments already as well. I'm sure there's got to be people saying that. It just makes so much sense. Tie that to either their culture or, if you can, the faith as well. The faith is even better because then you don't even need to make it just Ashkenazi. It's just any Jews.
Yeah,
Just the Jewish
just
pops.
like
Yeah, in your country. It just makes so much sense.
a tiny minority with an insanely punching above its weight influence within a state is something as old as time.
Mm-hmm. Or
And
you could just not give them any power and just get rid of them. Yeah. Like,
yeah,
there's the positives and negatives to interacting with any estate. So do you want to give them power or not? Because especially with if you give the Cossacks, or the theoretical, if there was a Jewish estate, giving them more privileges is still taking away from your crown power. So anytime you do that, it's still like, there is even that innate drawback of more power for them means less power for you. But do you want the bonuses or penalties that come with it, or do you want to just get rid of it? Especially because when it's tied to a culture like this, you could theoretically just be like, no, I'm just going to try and assimilate it all, just get rid of it, so I don't have to worry about this.
Historically, a lot of rulers are kind of assholes to the Jews, so that's why a lot of them are in Poland, Lithuania,
Mm-hmm.
Especially around this time. And like you could certainly you can make the estates reflect that, where you would be able to. I mean, it's not a particularly bright part of European history, but it would be, if you're gonna do it, then I think it's part of the estate at the very
Yeah.
least.
Like if anything, you could do stuff like because in Spain and a lot of Western European countries, especially, I think Spain is pretty bad for it. Especially there's barely any because they were really hard cracking down on it. So you could, if anything, give them a unique negative estate that like affects the pops and makes them like want to leave or something. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if they were like, the conversos, because that was just sort of a
Oh.
perpetual issue
Mm.
with Spain, where it's just sort of like, we need to deal with these people. Do we? Yes. The Pope says we have to.
Yeah.
Aw. Well,
There's a reason why Spain was pretty heavily Muslim, like 1,000 years ago, and now they're like very majority Catholic now.
I doubt that they'll do it. Yeah, I kind of would like if there was something that they got to represent the forced conversion somehow. But I kind of doubt.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
because there's a ton of of Sunni minorities in Iberia, but I don't think that there's going to be a way for you to represent unless they add a button that's like forced conversion and it's like plus 1 billion% religious conversion for 3 decades or something like that, which would be really stupid.
Yeah, there's like the culture conversion button in EU4 where you just spend bird points to entirely erase a culture in an area. And then I had a debate with somebody on a random Discord about that. Then they said actually you're only encouraging them to do it, you're not forcing them to do it. And then they went on well, I cannot say that. I cannot say what they said on YouTube. So
So,
use your
so
imagination.
yeah, that's the thing. I'm just so glad to be moving past EU4. I'm so happy because I'm so sick of playing. Like you'll look at EU4 and you'll see like the Andalusi, for example, and it's like the Andalusi just stay for the entirety of EU4 because because they're in the same culture group as the
One of
Castilians. So as soon as you become an empire tier, they're just accepted. So you have no reason to convert. But like realistically, that just happened over time. Realistically, people
yeah.
just assimilated into more of the Castilian identity, and that's why Spanish exists as a notion of just the Castilians. It started absorbing more of the Leonese, Asturians, and so on and so forth. Certainly the
Uh,
Andalusi.
I actually saw in an EU4 game once. Castile converted to Andalusian culture. They flipped to it. The AI just decided to
No.
flip to Andalusi, and all of their place names were in Arabic,
There,
like
there,
the Arabic versions, and it was hilarious. And because
there's
they were still Catholic,
so the funny thing. Aim. I'm not suggesting that like without a player actively getting involved in EU5, you should just passively convert all of the Andalusi because no, you shouldn't passively, but it represents now the slow like you'd actually get lots of minorities showing up there and sometimes you would have the smaller populated areas actually convert over and all that sort of thing. It makes it's actually more representative of what happens. But
and you'd also have the Moriscos, which would be Catholic converts from like of the that were originally Andalusian. Spain was still kind of dicks to them,
the
even
the
though they were
thing though, what
converted.
was I? Oh yeah. When you play like mega campaigns of EU4, so you play like CK3 and then you convert it into EU4 for a mega campaign. Um, Nemcraft in the next one that we're gonna do on the server. I mean, the whole of Iberia is theoretically gonna be Andalusi when he's through because he's gonna be playing as El Andalus. But any other time, like if you're playing as if you have someone playing as like Portugal or Spain in general, there's always still a shit ton of Andalusi culture because there's a lot in CK3 and it never gets converted, so it just sits there and there's no such thing as minorities. So you get all the way through the entire mega campaign. There's just a shit ton of them. It's just kind of funny. But yeah. Sorry for the digression. I
Well,
want to see what these
that's
privileges are.
because the developers for CK3 got it into their heads that like sort of passive culture conversion. Nah, get that shit out of here.
All right. So,
CK3 was certainly not
oh,
ideal, but it's better than it's not a failure. At least it's not a complete failure.
so does this here mean that the Cossacks are also tied to a okay. They're tied to a culture, that being the Cossack culture, theoretically. Like does it explain that there's a Cossack culture on the map?
It does in the description.
Okay. But theoretically then yeah, what's going on is they're tied to a culture, yeah. But also allows tribesmen to migrate makes me then wonder, does this mean that it's a culture
If I were
and a profession?
if I were to guess, here's my theorizing is that they have a building, and then that building converts pops to Cossack culture, and by virtue of being a Cossack, they become a tribesman.
So the Cossacks would make a like their estate has a building is your theory. Like the Cossack estate, because every estate makes building. One of their buildings, most of their buildings, the buildings they make are employ tribesmen, and then as a
Yeah.
result, the pops that would get employed by said building would be they would get converted to Cossack culture, and then would also be tribesmen. That's how that would work. That makes sense if that's the case. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it, it's
that's my
it's kind
guessing.
it's kind of hard to like show how historically they even like people would become or unbecome Cossacks. So it's like I don't know. I'm definitely gonna like as when I'm playing in the region, I definitely am going to want to try allowed free roaming because that does seem like a very interesting way to get some free pops in your country.
Well, it's
But
not free pops. It just means that they can move to wherever there's a demand for pops.
That means that
yeah,
your pops can move. Yeah. Yeah, your tribesmen can move. So that theoretically means the Cossack culture people, the people of this estate, because those are the tribesmen. Like, what other tribesmen do you have? Like, Balts? I guess maybe some Baltic dudes. But the point is, yeah, tribal dudes in your country can move. So it's not that, you're getting free tribal pops just showing up from other people. Um, it's that the ones in your country could choose to leave your country if they wanted to, or they might move to a different place in your country that is better. They might move to, you might be like making a mine or something. You might have a gold mine, and you're like, I really want to just get a shit ton of pops here. So you have a cabinet member increase migration attraction, and then with this privilege, you'd get some tribal Cossack guys moving over there. Not that I think Cossacks are especially good with mining, but still, it'd be
Well,
pops.
they probably would
uh,
produce food. So, food, you need that to grow your pops.
Yeah.
I'm definitely curious how like
I, I, I would bet what they primarily give is manpower,
Yeah. They know how to
and
fight and
good.
farm sheep. Like that's what they do.
I assume they just give manpower and good cavalry units. That's which I mean, yeah, it's true to life.
So,
But we will see because they don't actually explain it much, which make me think that it was kind of a last minute thing that they finally
yeah.
figured it out. Oh, they even say at the very bottom. I finally read at the very bottom. Cossacks are a culture of pop, so they may grow and expand or not, both organically, but also via events. The state will become available to those of Eastern European countries with any Cossack pops. So yeah,
what
it
does
sounds
Eastern European country mean? You like? Does that mean that just countries that are in the area? Does it mean that your capital needs to be in the area? What that the question there is? What does that mean? If you get Cossacks
I
that
don't know.
move over to France, can you not get them? Like, what does it mean?
I, I don't know.
Mm.
We'll have to see. I think it
Yeah.
might be a thing where it's like almost impossible to get them literally anywhere else, and they're not testing it.
Oh, that's a
I
good.
do
Sorry, but Azrael is asking, would they provide manpower, or would they be levies? So Cossack levies makes more sense to me. I don't know if you're getting well,
Oh yeah.
like because you do get professional Cossack troops, quote unquote, professional Cossack troops later on, but
I
that's
wouldn't be
different.
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like an age thing. Like as it went on, you could get like, a special privilege that allows you to recruit a particular cavalry unit.
Yeah,
But it gave like a bunch of power to them.
yeah, that's the sort of thing I'd imagine. Because because you'd want there to be something like that later on. Because early game, sure, the like some levy stuff would be decent, but Cossack troops later on should have to be professionals that you could get somehow. Otherwise, they're not going to be very strong, and they're supposed to be good.
yeah. It could be like a special unit, like Cossack cavalry or something.
Oh, it could be like, yeah, in a state because we've seen like there's laws like we were talking about the longbowman thing. Um, so like if you have a certain estate privilege, it'll be like a certain percentage of eligible pops, eligible levies will be raised as a Cossack cavalry something, and as a result, you'd get the stronger units that way. A certain percentage of the Cossack pops would be raised that way. Yeah, because levies can be special units. Um, and that's the thing, Aim, with you're asking, what if you get some Cossack pops through slaving or something? Yeah, that's the question. Like, what does that mean, Eastern European country? Because they say, um, the Ottomans. They were mentioning the. Oh yeah,
The
Cossack
Ottomans
is a
had a
culture
little
there.
bit of
Yeah,
Ukraine,
but
like a little tiny bit of Ukraine, much later in their empire. So
but the
it's not
bailiwick of the
impossible.
Ottomans right now, when they're just stuck in Nicaea, oh like they are a country that the Cossack estate has an opinion on. The
Roughly,
I wouldn't be
Ayyubids, in
surprised.
fact, the fucking Ayyubids, they have an opinion on. So like, what does this
I
mean?
I wouldn't be. I bet it's probably something to do. I assume they just don't like Turkic cultured countries, just as a rule.
Sure, I
yeah.
wouldn't be surprised at all, and probably includes like stuff to do with like you granting privileges. But what? Okay, it says Eastern European country, and I'm still trying. I still want to know. I mean, when it comes to modding, you just change like the way it works for whatever is cultural estate you want. But the thing that I'm curious about
Yep.
here is the fact that they have an opinion of the bailiwick of the Ottomans implies that they are interacting with the estate, and as a result, the Ottomans and Ayyubids theoretically have pops. But I don't know. I'm confused. So I don't know why.
Well, we will figure it out. But the fact that, they can have opinions also implies that you, by granting them a bunch of privileges, can just get free Cossack pops. Come over here. It's much
Maybe.
better. Or they revolt in your benefit.
Um, it does sound like they come from tribal pops. Yes, Eric. The fact that they're the first privilege on their list of grantable privileges is one that allows tribesmen to migrate. Mind you, if you give them all this theoretically is a lot of extra power. But we saw like the initial thing, like in the initial images here, is like they've got 0% clout. So I guess giving them a shit ton of privileges wouldn't actually change much because a large percent of a number less than zero is still like at best 1%. So yeah, at best here you're doubling like 0.5% to suddenly 1%. It's like wow, they have 1% power. So
I was gonna say you can't double zero, but even
well,
if you
well,
double zero, even
it
if you
says
double
zero, but that's
0.5.
not actually the number. The fact that this exists at all means it's more than zero, but it's probably an extremely small number.
Also, if you times a decimal by any like positive number amount, it will actually just make a smaller decimal.
Oh shush. Um, you're not. See, never mind. Never mind. Yeah, you're gonna bait me into a rant. Uh, respect Cossack traditions is funny because that just makes them like you a bit more, but it gives you a penalty to cultural influence, which is not good. That is not a good. But then right next to it, you have because it is kind of funny. You've got like the first couple ones, which are like these don't really matter, Tribesmen to migrate, that could be nice. Decentralization, maybe that's your build. I don't know. And then you just get the objectively bad one. What it does, it just gives you a penalty, and then you suddenly go up to efficiency of cabinet. There is no downside. Just give them this.
I wonder what the lightning bolt is, because I have not.
What?
Like,
The
oh,
light
that's
is
power.
power.
Right.
Yeah. That's
Oh
the
yeah.
power of the estate.
Oops.
No, no, it represents the estate's ability to call upon the power of Zeus.
Yes. That happens when you convert to Hellenic, of course.
Plus 10 million lightning bolt. That's how you destroy enemy armies.
That reminds me of a certain image I'm going to find that I posted in the meme shack. I am pretty sure it's probably somewhere. There's a lot of images here, so yeah, it's right here. Post it in the zone chat. It is
Don't really care about all the unique works of art stuff. Ah,
it'll help offset all that cultural loss that you don't have because you're one of that Cossack.
so Polish advances, proximity cost going down that's definitely very nice. It's not a huge number, but it's very nice to have. Diplomatic annexation going down and parliament-based support. So yeah, you're going to be, yeah, as Poland then, using vassals more often to expand and integrate lands.
I'm
Council of
kind
Three
of
Lands.
interested because Council of the Free Lands has a Jewish, forgot the name, candle right in front of it. I don't know what that is about, but I've seen people call them Christmas candles before, so I mean, it could be a Christmas candle.
Yeah, I forget the name right now as well. But you're right. That is the Jewish candle thing.
A menorah?
Yeah, it's a menorah. Uh, so
Yeah.
Council of the Three. Our country has a long-standing history of accepting destitute and persecuted Jews. To that end, a council that will care for their needs and shield their rights will only benefit our stability and spiritual strength. And it just is a trigger. If you've researched this, it just, during the Age of Discovery, you research this and it just has a trigger of allows Council of the Three Lands. Yes. Don't know what that
Oh
does.
God!
I sure
I,
hope that they
I was
explain
You're,
literally any of that, but I
you're
doubt they will.
not looking at the winged hussars.
I was looking through like the replies and Golden Liberty, bad, really bad.
Oh no. We'll look at it later once we're done.
Yeah, it's in the replies,
Winged
but
Hussars exist, yeah. Winged Hussars, late Winged Hussars, yeah.
Well,
are they gonna
I
arrive?
like
That's the real question.
the winged hussars for the LARP.
I hate Sabaton.
Oh,
Uh,
I don't like it very much either. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't want their music in the U5, please. The bass music of U5 is so good.
I mean, it's just like the fact that they are actually important to history, not just the Sabaton song. I knew about them before the
No, they are
Sabaton.
just a
Right?
Sabaton song. That's what Poland is, by the way, just in case you were curious. Poland, it didn't exist until a couple of Swedes decided to make it up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now you might ask, what was there before Sabaton made up Poland? West Ukraine.
Nathaniel,
No, it was.
you're slightly incorrect because yes, there's the Winged Hussars research and then there's the late Winged Hussars, but yeah, later Winged Hussars, yes, that's also of course something we need, but not the laterer Winged Hussars. It should be the latest or last, the last Winged Hussars. It should be the name. Mhm.
It's like the Last Samurai.
Yeah, the final Winged Hussars.
I also am
It's just a
wondering.
picture of Tom Cruise as a winged hussar.
Yeah,
I had I see like there's already people interested in making a Wiki mod for EU5.
yeah,
I wonder if they're ever I wonder if they're ever going to make it like extended timeline. If they're ever going to do that, because that would be insane if they just included all of Victoria into EU5.
there is 100% going to be a big fat extended timeline mod, and people will play the hell out of it.
Hopefully, it's not like the regular. Hopefully, it's not like the EU4 extended timeline mod, which is about as broad as a ocean, about as deep as the spill that you have when you spill a drink.
It's as deep as the Siem.
Yeah.
Is a puddle of Siem on the ground.
Uh, But something here that I'm very curious about is the fact that they've separated here rural migration attraction and town and cities migration attraction. So they give Lithuania here a tech that just gives them just straight bonus to both. But that implies that there might be something where perhaps you give a privilege to to the burgers, and maybe there's some privilege you give the burgers that causes more migration attraction to urban places. So it just uh, emphasizes people moving to the urban locations as opposed to the rural. Maybe that's something that's tied to traditional or capital economy as well, where the more
Probably.
Timeline had like a couple different like kind of paradox game start dates, including the one for EU3. So if it ever gets released for EU5, which will probably happen, whether or not the like official or quote unquote official extended timeline devs for EU4 ever port it. But
Personally,
yeah.
I'm looking forward to Imperator 2.
yes, unironically, I want to see that.
There's already a pretty much Imperator like mod for EU4. I can show
I
it to you.
know.
Yeah, I'd much rather
I-
play actual Imperator Rome than that.
Honestly, it's good.
it's a, I don't dislike it, but it's just a bit janky.
Yeah.
They try to do pops.
Yeah.
The only time that anyone has tried doing pops in Europa Universalis and done an okay job of it is Anbanar, and that is not saying much because that does not work very well.
It is a province modifier that goes up or it goes down.
Yes.
It's just a vague notion about like how many orcs
We don't
are in
talk
this
about
province.
Nathaniel,
Animo.
Nathaniel, yeah. What about Mayo? Yeah, Mayo and taxes is yeah. That's a thing that exists. That's all I'll say. Yeah. Oh.
I would rather do my taxes than try to know how to play Mayo.
Doing your taxes
you
in
need-
real life is far simpler than learning how taxes work in that mod.
Yes. Unironically, you are better off just getting like a math degree and like going off of there instead of just learning how to play MAO and taxes, because you're pretty much just better off if you take a math degree than if you just play a paradox mod.
I'm gonna join the civil service bureaucracy and play a grand strategy game in that.
Yeah, just play a grand strategy game IRL. You'll have more fun than being a civil servant.
Yeah. I tried playing MAO and my PC started making scary noises.
Yeah. Warhammer 3 isn't even that dangerous. I agree. I from personal experience as well.
Cyberpunk isn't even that dangerous. I've run Cyberpunk on my graphics card and it has run fine. And that's kind of been a benchmark for a while. So I'm not quite sure what they did.
You needed more RAM.
What is a legislative efficiency? Huh?
Chancery Slavonic.
I've never heard of this. What?
I think it has to do with Parliament stuff.
Yeah, probably.
I'd be willing to guess that.
Also, I love that for once, the increases of prestige are no longer measured in ones or twos. 0.05%, 0.05 monthly prestige.
EU4 try not to give or take an entire one prestige per month. Impossible. Like if you're playing if you're in the year like the mid 1600s in EU4 and you don't like have permanent 100% prestige, like then it's like you made a mistake basically. It's just that's how wonky that is.
I dipped down to 95 for a little bit because I lost a battle.
No!
But I got it back the next tick.
I've gotten, like, you can get good prestige just by, like, winning. You
Oh,
just
oh,
need to play the game.
the goddamn elves in Anbanar, the moon elves get like a base if you're playing as like Vinail until they convert their religion and yeah, when they've got the elven forebears, it's like the elven heritage gives you prestige decay as a bonus, and also their religion, I think, affects prestige. So they have like a base innate for just a being an elf, not even counting like country bonuses or anything else. Just like
plus two,
35% baseline prestige.
plus, plus two prestige, reason elf. Thank
Yeah.
you. Very cool.
Hey, they got to make up for the lack of like manpower or something. I don't know. What? Why?
Yeah,
What are
I can't.
the blasted elves
Why are
on?
they?
Because
Because they're smug.
elves.
That's why.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I hate elves.
Oh yes,
You
let's
got any
make this
more?
podcast into an anti-elf propaganda
Like,
stream.
okay, they're just stupid. They like what they
What?
do is
What
that they
are
come from
are?
this far away land that they fucked up themselves. They come up to this new continent. And they're like, please help us, please.
Well,
And then the humans are
whoa, whoa, whoa! I'm no Anbanar lore master, but I distinctly remember that they didn't come up begging. They were like, "It was more real." Everyone else, oh God, we're being
Yeah,
destroyed.
yeah.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, they didn't. But no,
And
the,
then
They're
the
like,
elves were
the
fucking
humans.
destroyed. There were like no elves left, but they showed up, and the humans were somehow doing even worse. And they begged the elves for help and begged them to marry into each other's families, and the elves became like super
I mean,
important.
I'm
So
kind of talking more
yeah.
general fantasy when I say
Oh,
this.
you
Like,
mean yeah, the trope of
please,
elves. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We
And
came
then
from
the
a far off
humans.
land, and we're super powerful. But please help us, because there's like three of us, that sort of thing. Yeah.
The humans were kind enough in their like infinite glory to give the elves a little bit of land. Like that's what they do. Is that the like humans? They just make humans look more based. That's it. That's their job. And that's why I'm an elf racist.
personally, I don't care for them on account of their pointy ears and tall stature and lack of beard.
Exactly. That's what I'm
I
saying.
mean,
Point out their physical
like,
features and say why they're bad because of that. I don't like elves because they look weird. Yeah.
okay, the dwarves might be short, but at least they're chill. They just dig. They
They're
dig holes.
chill.
There's not. Listen, you can describe dwarves as a lot of things, but chill is not one of them.
Look, all I'm going to say is look at the elven crime statistics.
Even my dwarves, where I tried to make them really different from any other dwarf I've seen where possible, I didn't even make them chill.
There's never been a. Well, actually, that's not true. In one fantasy role playing game I ran, I did have chill ish dwarves, but they were basically just like Mesopotamians.
Okay, but like the dwarves, at least they do something in return. The elves just kind of fuck things up. Like that's all they do. Like they show up, they cause crime, they cause chaos, and they take over the governing structure of the land. Yeah, and more I think
Well,
about it.
as we know, thousands of elves died in one uh, larceny related incident.
I mean, like, okay, the elves are the ones doing the larceny. I'm gonna be honest. Like, look at the elven crime
Yeah.
statistics. I keep saying this.
Yeah, again, the kin strife
No!
is just one larceny related murder after the next.
And now
Yes.
Nathaniel in stream chat is joining it. He's talking about Elrond being a sleeper agent. What's happening? How is it that I've
Yes.
reached a point where I'm running a podcast talking about EU5 where we could go off the rails talking about the inherent evils of elves in fantasy setting and why
I
to
mean,
dislike them.
don't even
And
get me
people are
started
still
about
watching
like
this.
these wood elves, these quote unquote wood elves, like they just showed up to these forests that we owned. And they show up and they say, "These are my woods now." Like, come on, man. At least let us have our woods.
Okay, well now
Let
you're
us
bringing
have a
me into the
lumber
conversation because now I'm stuck thinking, what's the best kind of wood elf? Do I like the kind of wood elves more where the wood
The
elves were
best kind of
always
wood
in
elf
the
is a
wood?
dead wood elf, okay?
Like,
That's the best.
because there's a type of wood elves where it's like they were always in the woods, and then
The,
you get like Warhammer and Anbanar, where in those settings they are fancy,
They entered the
shiny
wood.
elves who then went to the woods and became wood elves. You know?
Look,
They,
I don't care if they were there for 1,000 years. I need wood to build a house.
I don't care if they've been there for
and,
thousands of years. I need wood for a house. Fuck off.
anyway, men are weak, Gandalf. Unlike my people, who never did anything bad for the sake of magical jewelry ever.
We do need the
It's
weekly,
all,
yes, the weekly anti-Feanor post from Scald.
Yes.
it's important.
I hate elves. Like, that's all I have to say. Like,
Aim,
I'll post it again.
the best. You're saying the best
hopefully,
kind of wood elves are Finnish, but that like Finnish
the
and other like Eastern Europe and Baltic and such elves are like the little ones that live in trees and bake cookies and like come out to like undo your shoelaces.
Personally, I prefer like, the elves that like live in ships and raid coastlines.
those
They're
are
more
just
interesting.
pirates. All I'm going to say is that the best wood elf is a dead wood elf.
Them specifically, not even other elves. It's just those ones, just the wood elves.
Those are the worst. That's the ones I'm the most racist to. Okay,
Idiots
Lex.
make up 13% of the population, make up to 50% of the stupid comment. Yeah, this is correct, Lex. This is the real thing we should be worrying about. We need to discuss right now the idiot crime statistics. Listen, I don't know how to put this, guys. Idiots only make up 13% of the population, but they commit 30% of the stupid comments.
Only
Like,
30%. That's pretty good. I would have thought it was higher.
it's
I
50,
mean, he said
actually.
50. I just said it wrong. Uh,
Anyways, we don't even, like, there's so much about these elves. Like, I honestly think humans are better, really. It's just all you need to know.
Joffrey makes up only 33% of this podcast, and yet he's 100% of the bald people.
Yeah, exactly.
Curious.
I'm 100% of the bald people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What does that?
What does that
say?
mean?
I think it says that
It means,
I support baldness. Is there something wrong with that?
You're from big alopecia.
I yeah. Next, I'll just wait. Halloween day, I'll shave off my eyebrows and facial hair, and people will be left wondering.
Should,
He got bought out by
Yeah, big
Uh,
alopecia.
big alopecia.
They gave me this new
he's
product
bought
and just
out.
rub it over my skin and it gets rid of every. What the fuck are we doing right now? What's happening?
He's,
How are there
he's
still
that
13
bought out
people
by the
watching
bald
this stream?
people
What are you
movement.
all doing watching us talk about this? What the hell?
I mean,
That already
it seems
exists.
like 14 other people really hate elves as much as I do, and I honestly, I think that's a good thing, really.
It's called Nair, and it does exist.
So wow, crazy thing. Yeah, that's crazy. But so Lithuania has a unique advance in the Age of Reformation that gives them a unique policy slot. Wow. Whoa.
I mean,
Yeah.
it better be dedicated exclusively to elf discrimination.
There's no elves in Lithuania.
I'm doing my best. No. Each crime is supposed to be punished the same, regardless of the class of the person committing it, but in practice, many disadvantages for the peasantry will be maintained. The Lithuanian statutes will later inspire a similar reform in Russia. I love it when you have a reform that says, see, legally, whether you're noble or peasant, you'll be punished the same, but then in reality, absolutely no one listens to it. God damn it. Whoa.
Yeah, but it does give monthly progress to centralization, which is good.
This is all good.
Decentralized Yeah, decentralized bad. By the way, I'm taking the stance.
Yeah.
Okay. Tinto, Tinto talks societal
He
values.
doesn't just have the Tinto mega thread just favorited for immediate
Oh,
accessing.
God. Here we go. First one. First one. Let's tier list. I mean, they don't actually show us the numbers for all of them, so you can't make a tier list really. But
No, you do. Tinto Talk 38.
this is 38, but they don't show the numbers for all of them. They show the numbers for some of them, and others they just say what they do without saying the specifics.
Oh, sucks.
Yeah.
But
Okay, so centralized is crown power 50%. Very good.
maximum war exhaustion, bad. Road building, really good. Counter espionage, meh.
Eh, eh. But then decentralized, dude, I don't know. The only downside to decentralized is counter espionage going down. That doesn't matter at all. These they must have changed these or something. There's no way this is how it currently works. Because here I like decentralization more. I'm gonna be honest.
I think the main benefit is the events that you get.
Yeah, could be dynamic pulse events for that sort of thing.
Just
Yeah, makes sense.
Also, I think you could take only certain policies when you have certain societal values, and I would bet centralized ones are better.
That's
Just as
probably
a rule.
true.
Yes.
But I do like this notion that decentralized is like a quick, easy fix because all of its bonuses are just they're just nice bonuses. But I like the idea that despite it having some innate good things to it, centralized has a more peak potential strength from the crown power, of course, and you build roads faster, so it helps you with actually getting more control.
Yeah.
But just innately being decentralized gives you some bonuses to it. Like the distance to capital 25% is that sounds like it'd be really helpful for early game trying to get control. However, crown power, that extra 50% crown power, if you were very far towards centralization, crown power is where you get your trade income from. Because the more crown power you have, the more money you get from the the trades that are taking place. So
Also,
but that
think about
maximum
the
war exhaustion I don't
espionage.
like. This isn't EU4 where you can just spend bird points to lose war exhaustion.
I'm just gonna bird. I'm gonna bird away all my problems. That's my solution to all of life.
Yeah.
Just spend bird points.
Oh, did
Too
you know
much.
that?
Too much war. Bird
The
point.
dev diary instead, there's more updated. Wait, yeah, what? So, okay.
There's a second one.
Oh, yeah, I need
Yeah,
to.
Gov Paul Estates.
I was gonna say something.
Oh yeah, they did change it. Okay, so centralization is crown power. It has less maximum war exhaustion, only +3. Minus 10 proximity cost.
Yeah.
Plus 30 counter espionage, and plus 20 control importance modifier.
Plus point two.
It's pretty good.
But I don't know what control importance means.
It's probably how much control affects a province.
If I were to get, it's probably like how it trends towards control. But decentralize, a little bit of state satisfaction, a little bit of war exhaustion, and you keep the rebel growth, but you do lose the control.
Think
Which
about
is,
Control
counter
importance.
espionage.
I would not be surprised if control importance is like the growth to the median. If this is like you've got the trending towards certain number. I would not be surprised if that's what that is, and that would be a big deal.
Yeah.
Actually makes it because this definitely makes decentralized a lot less powerful because they actively swapped it where proximity cost now is a centralization thing where before they had distance to capital from decentralized, so you actually got more control from decentralized early game. But yeah, they got rid of the whole road thing, so instead centralization gives you the proxy cost.
Anything interesting revealed? Yes, Cossacks.
Yeah,
Scroll back like
yeah.
5 hours. Just read it yourself.
It is a little late where I am, so if it'd be expedient to try and just get the like.
It's a bunch of advances that do minor things and it's fine or whatever. You
Yeah.
can form Ruthenia.
Lithuania. Okay, yeah. Legacy of the Rus. Yeah, the Kiev. Wait, is it just Ruthenian culture? So it's not just locked to Kiev. That's good.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm pretty sure you can form like it's a kind of a choice. You can form Russia, Ruthenia, or like the Kievan Rus is like a tag.
if there is a Kievan Rus formable, that would be so based.
Also, you can form Poland, Lithuania, or if you're feeling funky, Lithuania, Poland.
Ho 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 ho.
And
Should
then
just
there's the
say
rise of the Slochta, which is bad.
Urban building cost goes down. Sounds nice. So you play as the Ruthenians and you want to just make lots of Ruthenian city states basically throughout your realm. Separatism go down? That's not bad. A Ruthenian state late game for stat investment during absolutism. Not bad. Bad. And then form Ruthenia. Yeah.
I think
Kiev
this is the
canon
first
to
time
Ukraine.
we've seen
you
the
can form it to
formable
a
countries
theocracy.
screen.
You're right. Reform into republic, reform into theocracy.
You just got those buttons though.
Yeah, those buttons are just kind of there. We haven't seen those before.
Also, a search.
Search for if you just
After
have too many formable countries, I guess. Don't know who would, but
suffering from success. All right. Should probably just go up and go to like the show all dev responses because there's actually the interesting thing for what is it? Electoral.
Kill
Yes.
Zimbabwe modding systems Wednesday. Switzerland and the we'll get Hansa. Oh, next week we get Hansa. Oh,
Whoa.
finally we get to find out about it 1 week before release. All right. But yeah, before you gotta go, let's
I mean, I can probably stay for now. I just don't want
Let's
to.
just look at the Golden Liberty for a little bit and how it's awful.
Reform. RNG playing Hungary. What is this RNG then? What's
Rung. It's the rung.
what?
The rung.
What rung?
RNG.
Oh,
Wrong.
god damn it!
You've been trolled.
He's a vassal Transylvania. He's a fiefdom. Moldavia's a march. Oh, you couldn't go through the mountains there. Yeah, nice.
Oh, are these releasables? Or
Moldavia doesn't start as a form tag. It's just a bunch of shitty little guys, so I don't know how they got that into being.
There's an early event for Hungary to consolidate them into a march.
As Hungary to just consolidate them into a march? Oh.
That's something they did historically. They just went over the mountains and they were just like, all right, get the hell out of here, mom.
Huh.
All right, you're the Duke. You answer us now. And then they went back home. That's a brief history of Moldavia.
We'll trust the same. Yeah, Golden Liberty. All right. Oh, my headphones are starting to scream at me. They're dying.
It's really bad.
Change the succession law to elective. Rule of the same. Government reform. So, 200% noble power.
Minus 10% tax, plus 10% parliament request issue support needed.
Oh, aristocracy up big. And hey, but you get the nobles are happy and they'll give you 10% more noble levies. You know, the pops that you've got none of in your country.
Yeah.
You get a couple more mailed knights. It's great.
Yeah, well, getting golden liberty
No
is not something
mind.
you have a choice in. So,
Oh, what?
yeah, you don't have a choice in it.
Oh,
You just
oh
get
no!
saddled with it.
That's just the only option. Oh. Oh wait, no, it may trigger between 1550 and 1650 given certain triggers. So you need to look into the code if you're going to
Yeah,
play Poland and be like, what causes this to happen? Please no. Never,
yeah,
never
yeah.
let this happen.
That'll be the Poland meta. It's just anything you can do to avoid that event.
God, I
Because I
love
imagine it only gets worse from there.
the fucking paradox AI images that they use these days. Oh my god, look at this stupid image. What the hell is this picture?
That's kind of something I've been a little disappointed in with EU5. That's like the one thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's their art.
yeah.
Like in general, like the feel of the art's good, but sometimes you get these AI images that just look wrong. Like
Oh,
what
oh,
is
oh!
this? What is
It
happening
gets even
here?
worse. It gets even worse with the rule of the same government reform. They get an additional 20 noble power, and you can't declare war without casus belli.
Ugh.
Just fuck you, I
Ooh.
guess. Don't
Ugh.
play, don't play Poland. That's the lesson to be gathered.
Poland just seems like it sucks too much, honestly.
Yeah. Don't play
Surely,
Poland.
just defeat them as the Teutonic Order and reign supreme instead. Much better.
Actually form Lithuania, Poland, maybe.
Lithuania, Poland, the Lithuanian Polish Commonwealth. Yes.
As a pagan Lithuanian,
Yes,
by the way.
exactly. And yes, Nathaniel, the nobles say no fun allowed. Sorry, we can God, this is honestly of the 10% parliament like issue needed for support. That's not even accurate. It should be way worse than this. It should force you to get like 100% of your parliament to agree to any issue. That's the way this should work. That you need to make 100% of the parliament agree anytime you want to pass a parliament issue.
I wouldn't be
No.
surprised if like that if the flavor pack for that region of the world were like, you know what, we didn't make rule by the same bad enough. Let's make it worse.
No joke, the Poles in the community will probably complain at them to make this worse.
Our nobles sucked. They were the worst.
Every Pole that
You need
I
to make
know,
them.
which is two Poles, actively enjoy when stuff makes the same worse. uh,
I must remind them of home. This is dysfunctional and accomplishes nothing. True to
uh,
life.
yeah, Matt for post.
It's
Um,
been chain about Lithuanian conversions, free path.
make Lithuania's rank a
I'm
kingdom.
interested in this. I am interested in this.
Yeah, they're talking about. I mean, yeah, that's an interesting topic because they've got the Russian style title of Grand Prince. I think that Grand Duchy should be a king, like, surely a Grand Duchy is like a kingdom tier realm.
I think it's technically still duchy, it
It,
just has increased stuff.
yeah, it feels wrong to me. Like, I feel like if someone's a Grand Duke or Grand Prince, that should be a kingdom tier that
In
just
EU4, you can
dynamically
become
changes the
you can
localization.
become a Grand King of Lithuania and get extra bonuses for it.
The
You stay
Grand King. You go from Grand Duke to Grand King. Just keep the Grand part, yeah. Like how you get the
For,
Arch King of the Kalmar Union.
hmm
So
I want to
pretentious.
look at the event for Christianization.
It's not.
Joffrey, you just rolled right past it.
Yeah, but it's not like there's nothing here. It's just we've got like these options here, but it doesn't show what they do.
It's the historical one where you just sort of go along with it and then you convert. And then you actually convert. And then just fuck you. I mean that's the best option.
To just slowly go through the process of converting by convincing the nobles that you're pretending to convert, and then over time slowly actually convert. Yeah, a
Yeah.
genuine conversion to safeguard our future. The Grand Duchy of Lithuania will remain removing, which is the correct choice. I
Yeah.
don't know what you're talking about. This is the correct option.
We're removing these papists from our country.
Ayo, gang, gang.
I can't wait to convert all of Eastern Europe to remove it and really piss off the Pope.
What? Why is Playmaker saying you want to be the lowest rank possible?
Is yeah. Okay, okay. So the reason Playmaker is saying that is something that I really don't like. The theoretic that currently is in the game, but like it's really stupid for world conquest. So okay, the lower ranked your country is, the less penalties you have to war score cost for conquest against larger people. If you are a count, you fighting an emperor and you win against the emperor, the war score cost is greatly reduced for you. But if you're the emperor attacking the count, the war score cost is greatly increased. Therefore, he said that you should play as a count the whole game because it means that you can blob much easier. Yeah, yeah. Higher rank gets more, advisors, the cabinet, among other things. But the lower
I feel like
ranks can
that's
get more land from people of higher ranks. So it's like for that one
that
specific playstyle that is his style, it is good.
just blobbing all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah, you see, that's not how I intend to play.
No.
So,
Yes.
lemon merchant? Question mark.
Wasn't there like a horrible one in here?
Don't question
What?
the Chat GPT lemon merchant question mark thing at the top of my screen. It's been there for a long time. It's going to stay there.
Was it there?
Yeah, I said don't question it.
I'm questioning it.
Why are you doing that? I said don't do that.
I'm doing it.
You're going to be expelled from the island for your questioning of the
Where?
lemon merchant.
Small primary culture
Use.
because it's more difficult, obviously, but you can play the assimilate other cultures into yours instead of accepting them. Yeah. Yeah, Lambert was playing the Welsh and assimilation maxing. Yeah.
I kind of hope you can just leave alone, like cultures in your direct culture group, because I
I
would
mean,
like to.
So
yeah.
if you're
Luckily,
playing,
they're cheaper.
if yeah,
Cheaper to accept.
if you're playing like in Germany or in France, oftentimes you're just going to be accepting those cultures in your culture group instead of assimilating them, because there's so many of them. Yes, which is where realistically I'm going to want to assimilate most of them instead. But you could choose to accept them a lot easier, as Scald is saying, because they have so many similarities to you that the cost of accepting them is decreased vastly. It's honestly, funnily enough, it just makes it way more difficult for people other than a French person to conquer France and accept them, because there's so many different cultures they can't accept all of them easily.
I mean, that makes sense, though. I just wanna, like, there's just some amount of like LARP that I wanted to do, or like some metacon, like potential kind of mod idea where you'd increase your culture group or expand your culture group, like adding new cultures. But that is a very specific idea that I had in mind, so I just kind of wanted to see, wanted to take a little peek.
Why didn't they talk about? Yeah, that's weird. So the current ruler of yeah, like Valenia. Yeah, I forget which it is. Yeah. But yeah, the Volenians and Halicians have yeah because they're supposed to deform Galicia Volenia because of yeah some sort of succession weirdness. Um, but I know the Poles also get like a claim to subjugate them or something early game due to this weirdness. So I don't know why they didn't talk about that. That feels like pretty relevant content.
Well, they ran
Oh,
out of ammo.
added to the possibility to switch between different government types: monarchy, republic, theocracy, tribal, and horde. The following ways. Monarch, republic, and theocracy can reform into each other, and tribal and horde can reform into monarchy. Wait, they can't reform into others? You can't, as a
Well,
tribe,
I mean,
reform into a republic?
well, that's because they are monarchies.
I mean, a
Well,
tribe,
isn't there tribal
theoretically, most
republics?
of the time, a tribe is a monarchy, more or less, but not
Well,
always.
if like the Iroquois might should be able to reform into like a republic.
Yeah. A lot of
It's kind of
Native
like a
American tribes would become more Republican in nature if they reformed.
listen. It's King Philip's War, not Mayor Philip's War.
I don't know what that means, but
You don't know King Philip?
don't know what you'd be referring to, no.
It was a war in New England in the 17th century
I don't know
between.
shit about New England.
It's the most important place on the planet.
Good
No.
to know.
Listen, you have you're part of the northern bit of New England. You have nothing to talk about.
I am very far away from New England, I assure
No,
you.
I'm talking about Rye
I don't
Pie.
want to dox myself, but yeah. Maybe, mayhaps, I do live in areas potentially around that area, but I'm not going to say anything.
So to
New
become a
Britain.
republic, yeah, you reform. Okay, effects would become a republic. Burghers get a state satisfaction, and lose access to certain. Yeah, you don't lose any advantages. But
You've got to have high burger power and got to be a plutocracy. Makes sense.
far, far into plutocracy as opposed to aristocracy. Almost max. That could take some work, which it should. I like that because this is doing it like politically. This isn't like a coup or some shit. This is slow government reform progress. Yeah. So yeah, no disaster, no bankrupt. You're at peace. You have burgers, and yeah, the burgers are powerful. Lots of plutocracy, almost max in fact, and you have quite a lot of legitimacy and are stable and theoretically
I
something
kind
else.
of
But yeah, I like that.
hope they have like alternate kind of government reforms. Like you can if you form Prussia as a republic, you can actually be like Junkers Republic, and if you formed the Netherlands as like a theocracy, you could be a trading theocracy, as an example.
They did have the trading theocracy thing in EU4, which is still a really cool concept. I love Utrecht Utrecht ruling them, but yeah, it doesn't seem like they really have that for the Netherlands this time. I don't know, but yeah, we'll see. Okay, but theocracy probably more of the same then. Yeah, so become very yeah. You need to be very spiritualist. That's probably a lot easier. Becoming 95 towards spiritualist is probably way easier than becoming super plutocratic.
Well, being spiritualist is bad. That's what I gather.
That
Not good.
depends. That depends purely on if they keep a certain thing that they currently have in the game, which is currently, from what I understand, um, theocracies, no, not theocracy, to core land, you need to have it both be an accepted culture and your primary faith, which means that spiritualist or humanist is a choice. You're dipping your hand in the poison one way or the other. And if you're spiritualist in like Central Europe, for example, that's fucking useless for most of the game until the actual like Reformation happens because everyone's Catholic around you. But if you're playing as Spain, you're trying to conquer North Africa, that's not bad because you're gonna want to convert the religion of the North Africans, and you can't accept religions in the same way. Um,
I mean, I suppose that just encourages vassal play, really.
A lot of things do that, of course. But the problem with if you then vassalize the land is that you can't convert it then. So it'll be
Well,
land that
no,
you.
that's why you make a fief. You make a fief out of it.
Why is that different?
Because fiefs have your religion, and you can enforce the culture.
Really? Where have you seen that?
I mean, it's been like the standard go-to. You can enforce culture on your vassals.
Not in EU4, you can't.
Not in 4, but in 5 you can.
I haven't seen that personally, but that is interesting. And if a fiefs start with your religion as just a gimmick of what they are, then that is especially interesting. Now, the issue with doing that is, of course, that if you enforced your culture and faith on them like that, and the land just doesn't have any of your culture or faith, then that means that the fief will have they'll be completely fucking useless.
Well, the
And
point of the fief is to convert the culture and religion.
they wouldn't be able to do it as fast as you can.
No, but you also don't have to deal with the negative consequences, and they have a core.
I don't think they would. Don't
Well,
think that would give them a core.
you make a vassal out of the land. They have a core on that land. Then you convert their culture.
They lose the core if you do that.
They would?
Yep.
Well, huh?
If you are
Weird.
playing as, yeah, if you're playing as the Turks, um, most of your land is not cored theoretically, because it's Orthodox primary until you convert that religion.
Hmm.
It will be
Weird.
integrated, but it's functionally like a territorial core from EU4 as opposed to a full one. That's at least how it was working. I don't know if they've decided to get rid of it. I haven't heard anything that it suggests it, but theoretically, what's still the case then is that you need to convert religion too.
I think at this point we can just safely say let's see in 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
We will see.
Well, theoretically sooner when people actually show footage. So.
I'm pretty sure the embargo ends as soon as the thing.
It ends on the 31st.
Fornications. Self-governing status with key of other nations as well have noticed this and are now planning to properly utilize this desperation of this new siege into complete control of the area. These Cossacks want to rule now? They'll make fine subjects of us.
They're gonna take so long to actually.
That's interesting.
My headphones died. They were complaining for too long and I didn't do anything.
It's over. But yeah, it looks like they're a horde. Cossack culture, Orthodox horde. I think they were just a republic in EU4.
Yeah, they were like a half horde, but they were like their initial reform was technically a republic.
I think it's very funny that they put in a lot of work to make the Cossacks in EU4, despite the fact that they do not exist on map in 1444.
Yeah.
They don't exist on the map as independent tags in EU5 at Game Start either.
Yeah, but at least they spawn it on the map, but they don't do that in EU4.
Yeah. Well, I wonder what I wonder what these Cossacks want to rule now does. Is that they like? Do you
It's
stop
probably
them
you play.
or you
No,
play as them? Yeah.
I feel like that's how you play as them.
You can technically like the Cossacks in EU4 sometimes technically pop out as like little tiny tags in like Lithuania if they're doing really bad, but they're usually never an actual player in the game.
Yeah.
It's usually one little tiny one province miner that gets gobbled up by their bigger neighbors.
I like how someone respectfully disagrees to this post from Pavia saying that they need to go for a few days. I need to go for a few days. Sorry, I'm done here for now. And someone's like, bad.
How dare you not keep answering my questions?
But it is interesting that yeah, they do have
Yeah.
something that will cause the Zaporizhian host to show up.
I am excited for what people will
Hmm.
do with funky estates, um, given what we have seen with the Cossacks.
Do like if you're playing as a Cossack like that, do you get the estate? I
Well, I mean, I guess
assume.
probably.
I hope so. It's just I don't know how like it feels like it would be a little jank. But like yeah, I mean in the okay, you probably would get the estate for the same reason that if you're playing as a tribe, you get the tribe estate.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you're a tribe, just like you are a Cossack country. You have a shit ton of Cossacks in your country. Doesn't mean that you don't get the estate. You're still interacting with them. You know, the
Okay, you
king
still
is
have to.
technically just the biggest noble after all.
Yes,
Uh,
I'm excited to see your what is it?
the marble dudes,
Your yeah,
if that's what
the
you're
the
referring to.
marble dudes,
Yeah,
the mob.
yeah, it should
You know,
be.
you know. I think that'll be an interesting way of applying it. I think that it's just like yeah, you can't convert them, but like look at all these bonuses you get.
Well, you
Also,
could, but
you should also add a disaster where they get too much power.
oh, that's happening at Game Start in a couple places. The single place with the most bad stuff happening to them. Like right after this, I'm gonna go to Eden if he's still up, which I doubt at this point. Doesn't look
Let's
like
look.
it. All right,
No,
all right, which is good. If he was still up, I would immediately go to him and talk about how Laventia is getting nerfed again. Because we were already planning on making it a problem that they're dealing with at Game Start. That this tag of Laventia, the Republic of Laventia, is just way too dominated by their influence. Because they had really friendly relations with the Marble dudes throughout history, and as a result, they got really entrenched. So, and they're also neighbors with like their homeland. So there's a whole
Uh,
shenanigan there.
surely giving all this power to like an insular group of people,
Yeah.
it's not really part of our cultural like consensus. There's no way that this will end poorly for us.
Oh, it's even worse in there because they don't even have the same religious beliefs most of the time in Laventia. So, yeah, it gets worse.
When it rains, it
Yeah.
pours.
Hmm. But sorry for
uh,
keeping you so long, Ryan.
no, I this whatever. I mean, yeah, I'll probably, yeah, whatever. It's okay. It's fine. I have my alarm set to very early in the morning, anyways. So if I wake up, if I don't have a lot of sleep, that just means I would go to sleep earlier tomorrow.
Oh, dear.
And because I don't have any like job right now, so it doesn't really matter.
I do have a tabletop game at some point tomorrow as well, and by at some point I mean 12 hours from now. So yeah, not quite the same. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was a little too late to join for that one, but if you did do like another one, I like it. I like to join, even though I have never done a tabletop thing before.
What
I
system are you using? I assume you're doing Kiangul setting, right?
yeah, but using the war, most likely we're gonna use the Warhammer one that you don't like, as in the modern Warhammer system.
You mean
So
fourth?
yeah, which you
Yes, I
don't.
don't like that
Yeah,
one.
you and
You're
Scribe
correct.
famously do not like that one.
I don't like it because it's new.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you're self-aware of the fact that you're an old head, and that's the reason you don't like it. But it's just
I
still true.
I al- I also don't like World of Darkness Fifth Edition. Even though that most of the people I introduced World of Darkness to, they're like, "Yeah, we prefer Fifth Edition." I mean, like you're just wrong. 20's
Oh,
better.
Yeah. Anyways, we're kind of ranting right
yeah,
now, so
I will rant forever.
I mean,
that is that's like the main appeal of this YouTube channel. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get on my soapbox, and I'm gonna say that how they changed disciplines in V5 was the worst thing to happen to White Wolf products ever. It's funny and relevant because it's currently owned by Paradox, and apparently, Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines 2 sucks. So
Apparently.
apparently,
Yeah.
I've not played it. I'm just going off of the 65 on Metacritic, which is really bad for Metacritic.
One
Most.
thing it's making me think about is how weird it is that EU5. It's a good sign that with EU5 is like so many of the people you'd expect and who did dislike it at first have come around to it over time. And it's like yeah, there's a shockingly small number of people who are like, nah, EU4 is just better. This one I don't like this. They changed this and this is bad. That number
That,
was very high initially, but it changed quite quickly.
those are always going to exist. EU4 is its own game. Like, it's going to stand up. If you ever want to play EU4 again, I think it'll stand up as its
Yeah.
own game in like 10 years. It's just not going to be nearly as polished. Like, I think honestly, games from like the 2010s are going to hold up very well over time because it's just we kind of got to a point where even games from the 2010s look like pretty good.
I don't
Mm-hmm.
think
Like,
you
look
could
at
make it any more Polish than it already was.
You said Polish. You mean Polish, or is that a joke?
It's a joke.
Okay. Okay.
I feel like you would have figured out that by this point.
I
I
am
just
okay. The fact that I asked tells you that I am starting to understand, but I am someone who is terrible at understanding jokes. I don't get sarcasm.
so
So
it's not sarcasm. Sarcasm is making it obvious. This is deadpan, where I say something totally absurd, but just with no indication that it's a joke. The joke is on the person who's in front of me. I'm saying it to.
the joke's on
uh,
me.
not understanding it is a sign of autism.
I
I
am
don't
well
think that's how it
aware.
works.
I am well aware of that fact. Yeah.
Are you a card-carrying member of the autism clan?
No.
You're making
Neither
it
is my
sound like it's
girlfriend.
Naruto,
Yeah.
like it's a Naruto fact.
I am a card-carrying member of the autism clan.
I would
There's
never have guessed.
That's
That's
Yeah.
see,
nothing
that's
about you would
sarcasm.
imply that. Yeah.
That's sarcasm.
Yeah.
Me saying
Okay, yeah, but I can
Polish.
understand that sarcasm because he built up to it with like three statements that emphasize that he was about to make a sarcastic joke, and that's how I can understand it. Otherwise, I wouldn't. I'm that bad.
If you, yeah,
You should get your card. Get your autism card.
What
he
good does
already
it
he already
do?
mods PDX games. I feel
Yeah.
like he couldn't make it more obvious if it tattooed it on his face.
Yeah, I'd go into some, yeah, wherever you get the card, you get your official diagnosis. I just go in there and let them know. It's like, hey, all right, so
You
I
show
mod
up
Paradox games.
at Johan's apartment in sunny Barcelona, and then he pulls out the branding iron and just goes shh. And it's the Paradox Interactive logo. It's on your right pectoral muscle. Just so all women know, never to touch you.
That
I
was
mean, that's-
wow. You had to go there suddenly. Jeez.
Of course, I had to go
have-
there.
I
I'm
have a
not pretty good
girlfriend,
on
and she
that
is
one.
suitably autistic as well. It is beautiful. She drew the image for Kiango. That's perfect. She is.
Is she also from Canada?
Yes. No, actually, my girlfriend goes to another high school. What do you mean? Yeah, she lives just a little ways away from me. Like,
Yes, that's the joke. The when
Oh,
I had a
so you-
girlfriend who lived when I had a girlfriend who lived in Canada, I made that joke constantly about myself. Yeah, well, yes, she does live in Canada. How do you know?
all right. I have no idea why so many people are but willing to put up with, much less enjoy watching us like ramble like this. But I'm all for it. We should properly end the stream now, though.
I've ran out
Uh,
of things to
It's
say. I'm mostly
like,
I'm
yeah,
just riffing.
we're
I
running
think at this
on
point
fumes.
we're kind of beating a dead horse. Yeah,
Lex
but
barely tolerates us. Yeah, I barely tolerate me too. So,
anyways,
yeah,
subscribe, like, share, don't
Send
dislike.
send
Ring the
gold.
bell. Ring the bell.
Send gold bullion to Joffrey's PO
Yes.
box.
Ever since we sent all of the gold that melted all of the gold into gold medals for the entire female audience for partner
It,
Joffrey.
accept the
Uh,
vassalization requests
yeah.
in your notification bar. Support Joffrey for HRE Emperor.
yes. Missed opportunity to make the Joffrey character in Kiongol a member of the HRE. He's not. Pretty sad.
A card
Um,
carrying member.
what else? What else do they do? Join the bald Illuminati. It's like the Illuminati, but they have the exact same platform, but just like they shave their heads.
Okay, what we should do is that we should actually end the stream.
Yes.
You better recheck if you're still subscribed because yes, you're right, Lex. Yes. All right, and all of you, you better recheck if you're still subscribed because YouTube occasionally unsubscribes you. Like and comment and subscribe. Also, only like less than 0%. Like there is less than 50% of you guys subscribe. So like, I don't even know what to do with myself. Oh my goodness.
0% of you are subscribed.
Oh.
You need to put on a like and a comment and ring that bell.
Otherwise, I won't be able to sleep at night. I need at least a this percentage increase in subscriber growth every day. Otherwise, I will be depressed. I have no self-validation.
Purchase Lobster Mind from the Kion Gold merch store.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please give me your money.
Okay. I need to stream now. Thank you all for watching. Bye. Bye.
Bye.